if you're one of the very few who answered one of my first community posts of my channel, you realize that the hip adductors are one of those muscles bodybuilders or just any person that wants bigger muscles tends to avoid. Maybe because if you're a man, you may feel silly or weird. I have also experienced this doing it, but the reality is you are leaving some gains at the table. And if you don't want to leave those gains at the table, in this video I'll be showing you what the hip adductors are composed of, its biomechanics, its antagonist muscles, the most common mistakes, yes, there are, trust me, and the best 3 exercises to add to your routine so you can grow your inner thighs. So once I started going to the gym, I saw a lot of abundance in different kinds of machines. And one machine I saw as a bit feminine was the hip adductors and abductors. Do well because it works the muscle most women want to grow, the glutes. But when I started to learn more year after year, I realized how underrated this movement pattern of our inner and outer thighs is. And for this video, I want to focus on the inner thighs, better known as the hip adductors, with 2 Ds. Adductors, as you see in the name, is a movement pattern which is when you sort of close any body part, like your legs or your shoulders. Now for adductions, we work a group of muscles well called the adductors, but more specific, they subdivide into 6 different muscles. The tensor fasciae latae, the iliotibial tract, the adductor magnus, the adductor brevis, the adductor longus, and finally the longest one, the gracilis. These muscles have the job of making you close your legs and also part of walking and running, as well as these muscles are involved in hip hinging movements like hip thrusts and deadlifts. So yes, you work your inner thighs too in these exercises. Hip adductions are worked in the frontal part of the anatomy plane, which is one of the few movement patterns that are not in the sagittal plane. Lastly, hip adductors, aka the glutes, abductors, B and D, not 2 Ds, are the antagonist muscles, which is just a fancy term that means that they do the opposite movement pattern, in this case abductions, or an opening movement of our legs. When I go to the gym, most people do hip adductions at the machine, but in these exercises I will mention later in the video, you may be prone to make some common mistakes, even in the seated machine. So let's mention some not so common mistakes that we encounter in this exercise. Firstly, I'm talking about bad execution. Let me explain. For the seated adductions, I see some people just don't putting the leg attachment wide enough and make it comfortable enough to waste their time and energy instead of actually working hard. So make sure to put the leg width when you are on the starting position. You already have some resistance from the weight, aka the weight is not at rest, or the plates of the machine are like floating when you sit down on the machine. Another mistake is that you don't grab the handles by your sides. Similar to the leg extensions or leg press, I see people putting their hands on their lap, behind their head, and just not doing it correctly. So these handles are a great way to stabilize your body, so next time grab these handles, trust me, as if you were pulling them up, and your body will automatically stabilize even better. And the last mistake I see is that it may be done in any exercise too, but it's not embracing your abs. This is also a good way to not overuse some common muscles like the lower back and neck. And doing this simple step before the machine adductions is important to avoid unnecessary back pain. You still in this video? Great. That's because now I will actually show you how to do these 3 exercises that target mostly the hip adductors. And let's first start by showing you how to do the machine seated hip adductions. Step number 1 is by putting the leg width as wide as you can, that you have some resistance from the weights when you are seated in the machine. Step 2, add the desired amount of weight. From here on, I'm still standing on the side of the machine. Now, step 3, seat in the hip adduction machine. By entering from one side, putting the farther leg first, then the closest one. This is more comfortable. And just let gravity pull you down. And the leg width should be again in a position where there's some resistance before starting the exercise. Step 4, execute. By doing some explosive concentrics and then some 2 to 4 second negative eccentrics. Not doing this would just be a waste of your time and energy, trust me. Leaving your ego aside will help a lot and you will have way more gains, trust me. Step 5 is repeat for more reps and sets. And finally, step 6, being consistent will make your inner thighs grow. For the second exercise, thanks again to Jeff Nipper's programs, I found out that hip adductions can be done in cable machines. And this is for those like me or like you watching the video who already are close or have maxed out the hip adduction machines. So this will add more effort to your inner thighs due because you are in a standing position, and you can add some resistance depending on where the cable notch is placed. So here's how to perform it. Step 1. Make sure you have ankle weights. I use this one that I bought from Amazon, and you can go to my description to check the link, and you help me out too, so thanks in advance. Step 2, put the cable in the bottom notch. The higher the notch, the harder it will be because more resistance will have. Step 3, attach the cable to your ankle weights in the outer position of your ankles. Step 4, before execution, go to the other side of the cable station and grab one of the columns, embracing your abs and glutes. This is very important for stabilizing your whole body. Step 5, execution. By starting a 2 to 4 second eccentric or opening your leg, then do an explosive concentric where you use this technique of mind to muscle connection, so this way you actually feel your inner thighs working instead of going to point A to point B. Again, this is very similar to the machine one. If you are not focusing on those slow eccentrics and mind to muscle connection, you're wasting again your time and energy. And step 6, repeat for more reps and sets. Now let me show you an exercise that I have never done, but it still is great for those who want to be more flexible with their workouts and life, or you prefer to do a bodyweight exercise outside of the gym, or you mostly work out at home if you're one of those who watch my videos. And the exercise we're talking about is the Copenhagen's, and this is a bodyweight exercise, once again, where we use the isometric motion of the muscles. Very interesting, where we just try to press with our inner thighs and knees any bench or any platform that we are in this position I am showing you in this video, while contracting your abs and glutes too. Now, you know how to actually do the best 3 exercises to grow your inner thighs, and as I say in all of my videos, it's very important that you execute every single week by adding this to a structured hypertrophy or a related goal routine and doing it consistently. But if you have other doubts, make sure to check my description where you can check also my link to my personal training website. So sign up and I will see you there. In the meantime, thanks for watching this video. Like also if I really help you in your fitness journey, and also tapping the sub button if you want to be part of the peladitos. Lastly, check the video I mentioned in my video right here.